The Water Guy. Emma was a writer who decided not to study creative writing and instead get out in the real world like the beats. She worked a day shift in a restaurant and a night shift in a bar. She kept an orders pad in her apron, scrawled with observations, gestures people had made while demanding a martini, and snippets of dialogue she would put into the mouths of her characters. Her boss said she was a diligent employee, and she was, but she had learned to make it seem as if her feet were on the ground while her head was in the clouds. She encountered him walking home from her shift at 2 a.m. Like Edward Hopper, she looked around the darkened city for nighthawks and was unlucky enough to find a bird of prey. "David Neville," he said, extending a hand as a distraction, before swinging the truncheon with the other. She saw an eye staring at her through a peephole at the top of the cellar stairs. A cold eye, almost like a shark's. She had no pen or paper, but she did have a 1-gallon bucket of water. And in the water, as she awaited the inevitable, she wrote. As an expert in water management, David Neville knew he had an advantage when disposing of a corpse. After all, the body was 60% H2O. The mistake Dennis Nielsen made was allowing the small bones to collect in the drainage system, causing a backup. David was the water guy, and no such error would occur. He worked the lead on the Emerald Reservoir plant because investors seemed to warm to his glib, superficial charm. It was a local scenic beauty spot, a place David often sneaked around at night, spying on young couples in cars. Someone on the PR team had set out a bottle of champagne for the dignitaries to pose with. "You're not having a glass," Counselor Henderson said. "Oh, I only drink water," David replied, holding up a bottle of Evian. In the distance, the English country hills rolled away to the horizon. The sun was setting, casting the lake's surface in a red-orange glow. "Three cheers for David," another dignitary said. "Our hydro guru." Suddenly, they turned en masse to the lake. The water was rippling. "An earthquake?" Counselor Henderson said. "Impossible." "Perhaps Moses is going to part the waves," Henderson joked. Nobody laughed. The waves began to break and fold into one another, and then from the maelstrom, perfect coherence formed. The sun had set even further, and now the water was blood red. Written the entire breadth of the lake, repeating millions and billions of times in the glassy surface, was a message, Emma's masterpiece. "David Neville is a murderer,